later. Page 175 today. And guess what, Lizzie? Today is the last lesson in your grammar book. Woohoo! Party, party, party! And again, today, Lizzie and I are going to have our own party. Um, do you remember this from last year? I think we did this last year. I don't know, but this is like a Mad Lib. I don't know if you remember or if you've ever heard of that. Okay, good, you have. So basically what we're going to do is says fill in the blanks below with different parts of speech in order to create a silly version of Town Mouse and Country Mouse. After you completed the list on this page, transfer your words to the blanks in the story on page 181. Don't look ahead yet, though. Keep it a secret. And then what I want you to do is let's go through this list, and I'll make a list too. I'll do one too, so we have an example here. But so 2 adjectives, those are going to be words that describe the noun. So it could be a color or a number or what it feels like or smells like or looks like. So think of your 5 senses. So I'm going to do like fluffy and tiny. So you could use a size word or color, any of those types of words. And then an ly adverb, so you can, and yours can be different than mine, okay? You don't have to copy mine. I'm just doing an example. Ly, let's see. I'm gonna do seriously. That's the first word that popped in my head. 2 nouns, which are food. So we gotta think of foods now. So how about pizza? And I don't know why I'm thinking of bananas, but okay, bananas. Those don't go together, but another adjective, slippery. You can keep going if you have those already filled in, just keep going down the list. So another adjective, sharp. A speaking verb is like how a character says something like um, yelled or screamed or something like that. Responded. And then a verb, swim. Another adjective, blue. Verb, drive. These are just things that are popping in my head. So, and feel free to use some of them if you like my ideas, or you can do your own. Another adjective. Let's see. What about gigantic? And another adjective, wet, scary. This is gonna be weird. Food, more food. Okay, let's see. Ooh, brownies and chips. Verbs with ing, that would be something that ends in ing, like skipping or jumping. Something with ing at the end. Animals, duck, pony. Excuse me. Another adjective, let's see. Slimy. Verb. Let's see. Work. Read. So. Food. Let's see. Ice cream and tacos. Okay, let me know when you got to the bottom of your list here. And then it'll be easier to read if you transfer those words to page 181. You'll just have to flip back and forth and fill them all in. I'm gonna do that too for my story, and then we'll share our stories. Oops. Okay, that took a while. Got it? Okay, good. All right. I'll go first and then you go, okay?
Mhm.
Town Mouse and Country Mouse by Mrs. C. Once upon a time, a town mouse went on a visit to his cousin in the country. His cousin was fluffy, yet tiny, but he made him seriously welcome.
Mhm.
Pizza and bananas were all he had to offer. However, the town mouse turned up his slippery nose and his sharp food at this sharp food. The town mouse responded his cousin that he needed to swim to the town, and the blue mice drive for the town. That didn't make sense. When they had arrived, the gigantic town mouse looked or took his cousin into the wet dining room. Soon the scary mice were eating up brownies and chips. Suddenly they heard skipping and jumping. What is that? Asked the country mouse. It is only the duck or pony of the house, answered the other. Suddenly the door flew open and two slimy dogs work in. The two mice had to read down and sew off. I'm going home, cousin, said the country mouse. Better ice cream in peace than tacos in fear. That was crazy. Okay, I can't wait to hear yours. Go for it.
Town Mouse and Country Mouse by Elizabeth. Once upon a time, a town mouse went on a visit to his cousin in the country. His cousin was fluffy yet blue, but he made him sur- surprisingly welcome. Acorn and pizza were all he had to offer. However, the town mouse turned up his pink nose at this tiny food. The town mouse responded his cousin that he needed to swim to the town, and the red mice ran for the town. When they had arrived, the green town mouse took his cousin into the white dining room. Soon the brown mice were eating up nut and dumpling. I forgot to put S.
Dumpling, that's cute.
Suddenly they heard cooking and screaming. What is that? Asked the country mouse. It is only the wolf or two-tail of the house,
Oh
answered the other.
no.
Suddenly the door flew open and two black dogs skipped in, and two mice had to fish down and brushed off. I'm going home, cousin, and said the country mouse. Better brownie in peace than leaf in fear.
That was a good one. Suddenly they heard cooking and screaming. Something was going wrong in the kitchen. That was funny. These are always fun. I like these. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're not going to actually do a practice page today. Your homework will be days 1 through 4, and then that's it. This is the end of the book. So you'll be done after this week. So you're going to do page, let me just make sure here. Yep, page 177, 178, 179, 180. Yay! All right. So let's talk about your paper that you wrote about how to. Remind me again, what did you write about how to what?
How to raise chickens.
That's right. Oh yeah, how can I forget that? Did you get to finish all the paragraphs?
No.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
It's because I was busy with the state testing and my home.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. That's okay. We can look at it next week. So I think your homework was to do the introduction and the conclusion part. Okay. So you can work on that and then maybe we can share it next week. So keep that in your binder since you're still working on that. And then we're going to skip week 18 because I don't really like that one. It's kind of a hard one and I don't really like it. What can I say? So go to your binder and let's get out week 19 and it's going to have a bunch of pages to it. Okay, so get out week 19 and it's called Poisonous Animals. You're going to get out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages. It's a lot. Week 19. So it starts on page 159 and it goes all the way to page 175. And you probably don't have any more of the big white paper in the back, so you're going to need a piece of regular printer paper. Unless you have a big piece in the back.
Nope, doesn't look like it.
Okay, do you have any printer paper? Go ahead and get some of that. Okay,
Okay.
so go ahead and fold. I'm going to use printer paper too because I'm out of the big paper. You know how to fold it, like the taco fold, like that first. We'll just have to write kind of small, but that's okay. And then remember how you kind of fold it past the middle a little bit, and then the other side goes on top of that. Part way over, and then fold the other side on top of that. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and get this set up first. So let's set up your paper here. Go ahead and open it back up. So like I said, we're just write a little bit small. It's okay. So A here, we see how many numbers we're gonna do. Let's see. Check here. Let's do Roman numeral 1 and then 1 through 4. And 4 is optional. So we're going to put a parentheses around the 4. And then go ahead and do B next. Roman numeral 1 and then 1 through 4 again. 4 is optional. And C 1, 1 through 4. So what we're working on this week is called formal essays. Now, we've done a couple of other styles of writing, like summarizing multiple references. This is a lot like that. The thing to remember most in these formal essays is that you cannot use I or me or my or you or words like that. Sometimes students like to say things like, next, I will talk to you about blank. But I don't want you to use that in this style of paper because this is formal. So you're going to just give facts about poisonous animals. That's what we're going to talk about this week is poisonous animals. So under B, go ahead and put the fused outline. And that one's going to also be Roman numeral 1 and 1 through 6 on this one. And the word clincher down here. Okay, and then just to take some notes on, hold on, let me check something really quick. Yeah. On the left here, we're just going to review some steps. Under A in this box, let's just put steps here. We know about these. The first step is to know what your subject is. That's the thing you have to know first before you start one of these papers is what subject are you going to write about? And go ahead and put an equal sign And we're going to write about poisonous animals. I have to write kind of small because our boxes are small. So I'm going to ask you, Lizzie, see if you remember. So after you know what your subject is, poisonous animals, and then you read the articles, right? What is the next step? What do you do after you read the articles?
You pick topics.
Yes, pretty close. You're going to make your list. Remember over here? In fact, let's put that over here. Possible topics. We have to make a list of the possible topics. Like as we're reading, we're going to label those paragraphs, and then we'll make a list like we did back when you wrote about gardening, like that. Okay, so list possible topics. That's the next step. So the first step is you got to know what your subject is, poisonous animals. Then we got to make our list, a list of all the possible topics. And then we do what you just said. We're going to choose a topic, right? Got to pick one to start with. And then what do we do after we pick a topic?
Rewrite about it.
Yeah, well, we have to do something on here next. What do we do next on this one?
Find keywords.
Yes, for A, B, and C, right? We got to do these are called source outlines. These are where we put the facts. You're right about that. So number 4 is going to be source, KWO, for each source. Remember, A is a source, B is a source, and C is a source. We call them articles too. And I'm just going to put in parentheses A, B, and C. That's when we do that part of the KWO. All right, so after we do that part, then what? We got A, B, and C done, then what?
Rewrite paragraph.
Not yet.
Oh wait.
After you do
Um.
this part, there's one more thing on this paper we got to do.
Oh, pick pick the sentences and then put them on fused outline.
Fused, very good, yes. Fused outline. So after we finish A, B, and C, then we fuse them together. We mix them up, right? We fuse them together on the fused outline. And then we're done with A, B, and C because that's all we need them for is to make this. Then once we have the fused done, then what do we do?
Rewrite the paragraph.
Yes, right. And I'm just going to do the paragraph symbol, which is 2 lines down with a backwards P shape right here. That's paragraph. Write the paragraph. And then we write the conclusion. Hopefully you still have room. And then 8 is the introduction. And then we're done. So there are 8 steps in this style of paper. This is a formal essay we're working on. And it's kind of like a research paper, even though our binder has all the research. We don't have to look online or anything, but we have the articles. So we know our subject. We don't know our topics yet. That's the next step. So that's what we're on now. So let's look at your articles next. Go to the first one. This is called Risky Foods or Risky Food. These are all poisonous animals. And you remember when we've talked about a long time ago, we talked about like the rattlesnake and the scorpion and those kinds of animals are poisonous. These are the poisonous animals that you'll get sick if you eat them. So it's not if you touch them or if they bite you, not like that, but if you eat them, they're poisonous to you. So since we don't have a lot of time in class, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to kind of skim. It's called skim when you look at the paragraph and you try to figure out what is it talking about. Well, the first 2 words here are pufferfish. I want you to go ahead and circle pufferfish. And then I want you to underline the part of the sentence where it says, can be deadly if you eat them. Underline that. So the first topic is pufferfish. And you've probably seen pictures of those fish before, huh? Yeah. They look kind of cool, but I don't think I'd want to try to eat them anyway because they look sharp to me. So the first topic, the first possible topic, I'm going to put puffer fish, and then we're going to put A. Oh yeah, we forgot to label this A. That's what we need to do up here on top of risky foods. Put A because that's article A. Just like we did for gardening, we're going to keep track of where we're finding all these things. So we'll read this later, but that's basically what that paragraph is about. Look down at the next paragraph. What animal do you think the next one is talking about?
Polar bears.
Yes, and they're so cute. Polar bears. And then I want you to look down to the very bottom of the page. Um, I want you to underline sicknesses people had from eating polar bears. Like, why would somebody want to eat a polar bear? Isn't that weird? They're huge, first of all. That would be crazy. So apparently some people have eaten polar bears before. Um, and it's the polar bear liver. Like if you turn it over, that's one of the organs, the liver. That's the part that makes them sick. I would just underline livers on the back. All right. So the next one is polar bear, and we have A again. Okay. Go back to this. We're on the back side of that. What's the next bear or what's the next animal?
Barracuda. Cuda.
Yeah, barracuda. That is a type of fish. And I think that there is a sentence in here that talks about that they're not good to eat. Oh, here. Barracuda meat can contain poison found in the fish it eats. So maybe the barracuda itself is not poisonous, but because it eats poisonous fish, then if you eat a barracuda, you might get sick. So don't eat a barracuda. So far we know don't eat pufferfish, polar bear, or barracuda.
Ugh, I
So,
don't want to eat one. Oh no. The next one is a bird.
oh my goodness. Okay, so put down barracuda, A. Did you already get that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and the next one is the bird. Yeah, what's the name of the bird?
A quail.
A quail, and they're
They
so
look so
cute.
cute.
I know they're super cute. I see them a lot up here in Tehachapi on our property. I see them running around
Huh.
with a little feather on the top of their head like that. You can go to the next page
Oh,
there.
look at it.
Super cute.
I think
Uh,
it'd be poisonous.
I didn't know they were poisonous. I know some people who eat quail, so I don't know how poisonous, I don't know if it happens all the time, but basically, let's see where it talks about that. Oh, wild quail eaters right here. Wild quail eaters become confused and have a lot of pain. That sounds terrible.
Eh, no.
Yeah. All right, so let's add quail. Quail. And that's also in A. Okay, that's it for A. Those are all the animals for A. So let's move on to the next article.
Which is B.
Good. Go ahead and put a B at the top. Poisonous animals.
Ooh.
Yeah, what's the first one?
A spur-winged geese.
Yeah, spur-winged geese.
I've heard of geese, but not spur-winged.
I know, me too. And spurs, I know on a bird are that, from chickens, right? That
Mm-hmm.
extra little toe they have in the back.
Yeah,
It's,
it's for fighting.
yep, for fighting. And usually the roosters have that. The hens usually just have like a little nub. Like it's not that sharp, but the roosters, it can be pretty sharp on them.
Hmm.
But yes, they do use that for fighting. So let's see. Right here where it says, if people eat this flesh, they will be poisoned. So this is another one of those animals. If you eat it, it's poisonous if you eat it. So spur-winged geese, let's put that one down. Spur-winged geese. And this is in B this time. And what's next?
Foxbill sea turtle.
Hawksbill sea turtles. Beautiful but toxic creatures.
Really?
Hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not know that either. It says it is not likely that their flesh is made into delicious turtle soup because it is poisonous. I don't think turtle soup sounds good at all.
Mm-mm.
I don't want to try that. Sounds
It,
terrible.
it does.
Hawksbill sea turtles. Well, let's put them here. Oops. Hawksbill. Yeah. EILLC turtles. B again. Got a lot of topics.
Hmm.
Let's go on to the back of that. What's the next one?
Barracuda.
Hey, Barracuda, we know that one. Let's just circle that. So now we can just put a B next to that one. So we have A and B for Barracuda. And then what's the next one?
Perfect.
Yay, pufferfish. We know that one too. So B next to pufferfish. So this is what you would do if you're doing a research paper style like this. You would just kind of look ahead and see what all the paragraphs are and then organize your notes and then you go back and actually read it. So next page. Oh, that was it for that.
Yeah. Now
Okay,
it's time
so
for
yeah.
don't eat that.
Yeah, don't eat that. That's going to be C.
I wonder if there's any of chickens. What do chickens have?
I think
No.
chickens are safe.
Yeah. I don't think.
Okay. Do
And
you,
then there's geese.
yeah, which one? Is it the one, same one we just read about?
Spur-winged.
Yeah, spur-winged. Yep, right here. Spur-winged goose. Circle that. Go back over here. Next
See,
to B, we're going to put C.
again.
Okay, what else? Oh, yeah.
Barracuda.
Barracuda again, yes. Okay, so C for that one.
Ooh, bears.
Polar bears. Yay. Oops.
Ooh.
And then we'll put C next to polar bear. And then what else?
The golden poison frog.
Golden poison frog. That's a new one. So, oh boy. Do you see the next sentence? It says the poison from the frog can cause victims to swell up, experience nausea, and lose the ability to move their muscles at all. Whoa, that's like being paralyzed.
Hmm. I don't want to touch one now.
Wow. I wonder if you have to eat them or
Touch them.
touch. Okay, you can't touch these. It says one of the most toxic animals on Earth. Wow. How did you figure out if you touch him? Does it say that? Oh, let's see. Mhm.
Um,
Hmm.
because what is it? A frog doesn't bite.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
and these frogs are tiny. They're about
Yeah,
2 inches.
crazy, huh? I
Hmm.
don't think they have them here in America, though. That's good. So golden, poison, frog, and that's in C. That was the last one, huh?
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
checked on the other page. There's nothing.
Okay. It mentions
Chocolate. I
Chaco, yeah, whatever that is.
think it's a try.
You think it's another frog? Is that what you said?
I think it's a tribe.
Oh, a tribe. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you're right. Oh, yeah, Chaco people. Yep, you're right. Okay. Well, we've got our list. Um, and you're just going to focus on one paragraph this week. And then next week, we're going to add two more paragraphs, but we're going to do a little more research next week. So this week, I want you to just choose the one that has it in all three, which is the Barracuda. So go ahead and circle Barracuda. That's where we're going to start. That has information in all three sources. Next week, we're going to do some research because some of these only have two sources. So you'll have to look up a third source. Or if it only has one source like this one, you'll have to look up two other sources. So we'll do that next week. But this week, let's focus on the Barracuda. I think that's going to be the easiest way to go about it. So go ahead and write Barracuda on A, B, C, and fused. On the fused, we're just going to do blank, blank, because we don't know yet what other words we'll put there. All right, and then we're just going to spend some time looking back on those paragraphs. This is going a lot faster since it's just you in here, so that's kind of nice.
Yippee.
Yeah. So let's go to text one again. And the Barracuda paragraph is on the back of that one. So we're at 162. So how about you go ahead and read that paragraph to me, and then as you're reading, see if you can find at least three facts or four if you want, but you have to have at least three and just underline them as you go, okay?
Okay, let's see. Barracuda are menacing fish that grow up to 6 feet long and can attack without warning. The largest barracuda can weigh as much as 100 pounds.
Wow. Whoa,
How-
that's big.
I'm pretty sure it's long as the anaconda, or somewhere between there.
Like,
However, it can still be dangerous even if it's cooked and on your dinner plate. Barracuda meat can contain poison found in fish that it eats. The poison doesn't hurt the barracuda, but it can cause extreme nausea as well as headaches and a tingly feeling in people who eat the meat. Only larger barracudas are sometimes poisonous, so it turns out the most dangerous barracuda to catch are also the most dangerous to eat.
okay, so I looked it up on my cell phone, and this is what they look like. They're really long.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah.
Imagine just seeing a little fin pop out of the Amazon River and then
It
again.
kind of has, I know, I can't even imagine. It kind of has the face of like an eel.
Ugh.
Have you seen eels before?
Uh-huh, I don't like eels.
I don't
Ugh.
either. Yeah. Ooh, look at this one.
Which
Ooh,
one?
that's creepy too.
No, I'm not. I went to Amazon.
You're like, no, man, they got a lot of sharp teeth in there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, did you get a chance to underline some stuff, or do you want to do that really quick? Find
Mm,
like three or four. You can find, if you only find three, that's okay.
Let me see.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, I found three.
Okay,
I
good.
just,
So go ahead. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna
I
say?
just, there's one of the ones that we already underlined, and then I added two.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and take a minute and look at what you underline. I'm gonna let you do this part by yourself. So put down the keywords, and then when you're done, you can tell me what you put.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, good. What'd you get for your facts?
I for number one, I put, what is it? A playful face for menacing, and then a fish, and then grow 6 feet but abbreviated, and a
Hmm.
cat, and I put warning, and then I crossed it out.
Good.
And then why is there so many notifications? And then I got two. For two, I got B for barracuda, and
Mhm.
then me, and I put poison, and then fish, and then it eats, but the fish is like little goldfish.
Okay.
And then the three, I put P for poison, and then herb crossed it out, and then B, and then an arrow going up for high, and then nausea, the the dizzy emoji for headache,
That's a good
and
one.
then little dots for tingly, and then I put feeling.
Oh, nice. Okay. Good. That's really good. I like how you did that. Let's look at B next.
Barracuda, barracuda, barracuda.
Okay, B is, where's mine? Let's see. Here it is. B, and then I guess it's on the back. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's on the back of that one, 166. So this time when you read that paragraph, try to find different things than you already put. So go ahead and read it.
The barracuda is a fearsome fish. It lives near the surface of the water in tropical and subtropical tropical oceans. It is long, thin, and has sharp teeth. And they are popular game and food fish. However, sometimes barracudas may cause food poisoning because they eat fish with poisons in their bodies. The flesh may not cause death, but the unfortunate victim may have
I think,
gastronomic distress.
yeah, gastronomical. That's like in your gut, like your stomach and your intestines. That's where that's at. Ew, that sounds terrible.
Mhm. Limb weakness and may not be able to tell the difference between hot and cold. Oh, that's bad.
Weird. Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
These symptoms may persist for weeks, making the barracuda a fish may some may want to avoid.
Yes, agreed. I don't even want to try.
Mm-hmm. Um, two, and then trying to look for another one.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna put that last one. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So go ahead and go on to B now. You know what to do, and I'll have you work on those keywords and then let me know when you're done with that.
Oh wait. All done.
Okay, good. What'd you get?
Um, Liz, and then I made a box with water and sand, and then added an arrow near the water, and then tropical and subtropical. tropical oceans. And then for two, I put long, thin, sharp, and then a picture of a tooth. And then three, I put 4 stars, game, food, and fish.
Nice. Oh, 4 stars for popular.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like that. You're pretty creative with your symbols.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, let's go to don't eat that. And it's on page 167 down there. So we'll do the same thing for C, and then you're all ready to go. All you have to do is your fuse and write your paragraph. It'll be easy.
Okay. Another animal to avoid eating is the barracuda. Barracuda can be found in tropical climates in shallow ocean water, near coral reefs, or on the underwater plants. They are vicious hunters with long, sleek bodies. They use sight rather than smell to attack with lightning speed.
Mm.
And some people like to catch them for sport, but sportsmen don't always eat these fish. As it turns out, barracuda can become poisonous when they eat other fish that have poison in their bodies. Diners who eat poisonous barracuda may experience painful symptoms for weeks at a time. Occasionally, people can even die as a result of eating poisonous barracuda.
Okay, yeah, wow. And looking back on your other key words that you picked, did you mention, I'm trying to remember, did you mention they're poisonous because they eat other poisonous fish?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, good. Because I think that's important to say. So I'm glad you got that. So see if you can find other things here.
mhm. I'll tell you when I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Good. Okay, what'd you get?
I got um vicious hunters, and then I put an arrow that's long, and then sleek, and then I put a stickman for
Okay.
bodies.
Okay.
And then for two, I put sight, circled it, and put an what is it? A check mark on it. And then smell, and then I crossed it out. and then I
Mhm.
put attack, and then I put a lightning bolt, and then I put speed. And then 3, I circled H for hunters, and then I put catch, and then B for barracuda, and then sport, E, and then crossed it out, and then another B.
Oh, good. Okay, I like it. Yeah, that's going to be really good. So we have just basically a minute left. So I'm just going to talk to you about the fused part. You already know how to do that, but make sure you talk about why or how they're poisonous, because that's really important. The other facts are more like um, what they look like and maybe where they live and things like that. That's good too. I want you to include that too, but make sure that you point out because the main thing you want to talk about is how they're poisonous, okay? And then
Mm-hmm.
what happens to somebody when they eat those. And then you've got your two blanks. So don't forget to think of two words you can add here to introduce the topic of the barracuda. But let's look at the checklist really quick too, because I want to make sure we check that. And I know you had these already from your last paper um, about the explaining how. But don't forget we have three openers now here on the bottom. So the VSS, you remember that one? Yeah.
Very short sentence.
Yes. And how many words is in a VSS?
2 through 5 words.
Perfect. Good. Yes. And then you got your LY opener and prepositional opener, and then all your dress ups. And then if you look back up here, this is like what I said earlier. It's the fourth box down. This is where we don't want to use words like I, my, we, us, and you. So you don't want to say things like, now I will talk about the barracuda. Try not to say that. You're just going to start talking about it and not include yourself in the paper. Um, and let's see, you still have, you're working on your first body paragraph. We're going to work on more paragraphs next week, but you do have the topic clincher rule still. So you're just going to write this first paragraph only this week, and then next week we're going to do some research together, and then you'll add more paragraphs as we go. So it's pretty easy this week. So this is a good time for you to get caught up with your other paper too, since you had testing and stuff. I know a lot of students, that's probably why they're not here. They're probably testing. So, do you have any questions about homework this week?
Um, Wait, yeah, one.
Okay.
For the fused outline, what can I put after barracuda?
I would put something that introduces them, like you could use the word dangerous or poisonous or um, what's another word you could use to kind of introduce them to describe them? Think of something.
Mm,
Maybe they they're large and they're a fish. You could do that. You could put large fish or something like that. So it's basically a sentence to introduce what they are. And then you'll go into the details of where they live and, why they're poisonous and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So just the finish up this and then one paragraph. That's it for this week. So, all right, Lizzie, I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.